Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Who knows what time you're watching this video. This is the Reds Report. I'm Chris Ridyard. Opposite me, in my bedroom. Well, he's not really here, but he's opposite me.
Don't tell him.
Carlo van der Watering. How are you, Carlo?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How are you?
You're a good-looking chap.
Well, that's from a distance, and I'm not an HD. So.
Well, my beard's gone at the minute, which I'm not very happy about.
I know.
I don't like it, but obviously needs must. I can't go to my usual barbers, so I've had to chop it off myself. It should see me through for a good 12 weeks now.
I was sort of hoping you would leave it and then look like Tom Hanks in Castaway by the time this is all over.
Oh my God, he's a very handsome man, is Tom Hanks. I'd like to be a quid behind him as well, I tell you. So, Carl, how are you today? Are we all right?
Yes. Another day in paradise, isn't it? Another day that we just don't know what's going off, so we just do our best. We grin and bear it. And we're happy when it gets to sort of 7, 8 o'clock, we can relax. And then we go to bed and just see what tomorrow brings. Because there is no rule book. There's no guides. Every day I listen to the press conference and finding out, is anything happening? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? And I've made the conscious decision now of maybe just not looking at the news so much. Because there's a lot of doom and gloom about it, isn't there?
There is. And that's why we're here, isn't it, I guess? We're not going to be negative now, Liz. We're going to try and keep providing brand new content every day. Well, not every day, twice a week we've been doing, I think, at the minute for Reds Report.
Yeah.
We get plenty of tweets out every day. We've been doing quizzes. We're doing plenty of interactions. We are leading the way, Carlo. There's many people that are really enjoying what we're doing. So therefore, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, let's try and keep a little bit of normality. And during a normal Thursday in April, you would hear us. Maybe not see us, but we definitely hear us. So let's just keep that going. And we might not be able to talk about football and the table or the board or anything else, but that doesn't mean we have to stop talking, does it?
Well, speaking of football, we had a great guest on Thursday, just gone. Andy Clark came on,
yes.
Head of Communications and Marketing.
Yeah.
Good chat.
Yeah, really
good.
Very open and honest. And very, saying that there is no rule book and everybody's working hard behind the scenes. There will always be those that say, what they're doing. But you look at the content they're putting out, on the social media, the quizzes for the kids. They went along with that Leyton Orient sort of quarantine where we got beaten by Sydney in the first round. But
2-1. I think they've got Adam Lafondra up front, so I put it down to him.
Yeah, they did. And to be fair, I think it was the fact that the system was lagging quite a bit between him controlling it and actually happening. So, listen, right. But it was another initiative that people look forward to. They've put some matches on I follow for free. So I think at the moment you can watch the match at the KCOM Stadium, the whole city.
Well, I'm hoping that me and yourself can get around to reviewing one, Carl, and maybe do a watch party where we film ourselves watching it, maybe. That'd be interesting.
I'll turn the commentary off and we'll do a bit of commentary.
Sounds wonderful. Yeah, let's have a bash at that. Today's show then, before we run away with ourselves and plan what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks. Today's show, we've got 2 guests. Or we're hoping to have 2 guests. Well, Skype's a bit iffy sometimes up in Barnsley. There's not many internet masts. Anything could happen. Shall we introduce first guest?
Why not? If you want to introduce him, I'll ring him.
Yeah, you ring him. I'll introduce him. Man of many talents. Been around Barnsley for a very long time.
Are you saying he's old?
does a lot of commentary. I'm not saying he's old, but Barnes had a dinosaur up front when he first started supporting us. We'll get it all out of the way now before he comes on. I know he'll be watching this back and he'll be cursing me. Not like Phil, is it, to be angry? But anyway, Phil Hall. Let's bring Phil Hall on. Is it ringing?
I'm ringing. It says it's calling. We just
Fingers
have to remind him that this is being recorded for GDPR reasons.
I'll let you remind him. I'll let you do the legalities, Carlo.
Don't look like he's answering at the moment. Where does he live? Have they got Wi-Fi there? Oh. I can hear but not see.
There we go.
Easy.
Good afternoon, Phil.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
How are you? You look well.
Well, I'm getting there slowly.
You look slightly better than the last time we saw you because you have been really poorly. The last time we saw each other, I think, was the Liam Jones Legacy night.
It was indeed, yes. I struggled to get through that night, but I did.
Yeah. Well, you did amazing, but I think you paid for it the weeks after, didn't you?
Just a bit.
Yeah.
It's dropped quite well for you, Phil, really, because obviously you've been given time to recuperate yourself, haven't you? Because I know what you like. You like to go 100% at everything, even when you're not 100% yourself. Naughty Phil. But it's giving you time to try and get your head back in the game and get back on the saddle before football eventually begins again.
Yeah, eventually. That's the word, isn't it?
What have you been up to then, Phil? Have you been keeping busy? You've not been throwing any heavy electrical equipment at yourself recently or tumbling downstairs or anything like that for your own entertainment purposes?
Right. Not recently, but, there's time yet. But, no. So far, so good, touch wood. And I've avoided the dreaded coronavirus, which is a bonus.
That is a bonus. What have you been up to, Phil, then? What has been keeping you busy?
Well, as busy as I can be, because I haven't been 100%, but I've been tickling up the garden and what have you and getting it a bit better. Cleaned the garage out yesterday. That's what I've been doing for years and years.
Yeah.
So we're getting there slowly.
So you've been quite productive then, really.
I'm still doing all the cooking as well, because she's still at work, you see. So.
Have you been cooking all nice, other than a storm?
All sorts. Everything I cook's nice, Chris. You should know.
Hey, Carlo, we know our bread's buttered once we're allowed out of the house again.
Yeah. Don't forget, I got my letter today, 12 weeks before I could go to Phil's for my supper.
Oh, that's true. Goodness me.
Went to barracks.
And Phil, obviously, we know you from seeing you in the press area, and obviously Chris and myself doing the commentary. Just want to talk a little bit about that because I think a lot of people, especially, I know there is no football at the moment, but a lot of people know that Barnsley FC have this sort of agreement with Barnsley Hospital or the broadcasting service to do the live audio commentary for patients in the hospital. And I was really surprised that that's been going for quite some time because I thought it was something quite recent, but it's not, is it?
It's not, no. It's been going since 1953, which even predates me, would you believe?
That must be old, Phil.
Yeah. It's actually one of the first hospital broadcast commentary setups in the country. I think Barnsley and Portsmouth were the first two clubs to do it, if I remember rightly. And so we've been doing it since 1953. I've been involved with it since 1973, so 47 years this year. So, and we've got an agreement, obviously. The club are very good and allow us access and allow us to transmit and commentate on the live games in conjunction with the Hospital Broadcasting Association, which we're members of. They've got an agreement with the EFL and the Premier League.
That's wow, unbelievable stuff to be going so long, Phil. I mean, if we were to dream up your job title now, it would probably, I don't know, maybe technical director of the radio station. What have you done previous to that? Were you a commentator yourself?
Not prior to that, because I started that when I was 16. So
right, okay.
Yeah, following on from that developed into doing commentaries for other people. I've worked for Radio Hallam and Real Radio and various other radio stations. Just on a part-time freelance basis, but
so you've worked with lots of commentators and lots of guests, I would assume, in that time.
Oh yeah, quite a few.
Does anybody actually measure up to me and Carlo? I'm just wondering. I think me and Carlo have pretty mastered it already.
No comparison, obviously. Although that Matt Bailey isn't bad, you know.
He's all right. He's Matt Bailey. Did you see my imitation of Matt Bailey, Phil, on that video? I think I got quite
it was very poor, actually.
It
was almost as bad as your imitation of me the other week.
I've not shared that video yet, Phil. Are we allowed to share that video?
I'm sure you'll keep it up your back pocket ready for some time.
We'll use it this week, Carlo.
Yeah, I thought you might.
On social media at the moment, there's a lot of posts going around of, the first letter of your surname, the things you like to drink, the things you like to eat. On Twitter, there's a lot about dream teams and your favourite, your ultimate football team. Talk us through some of your heroes that you might have commentated on, that you might have gone to watch. But in your sort of dream team, who would be the captain, for instance?
Yeah, well, they're all Barnsley players for obvious reasons. But I mean, I've covered a lot of teams in my time actually, and done quite a lot of the 92 grounds. I think I've broadcast from about 43 of them, 44 of them, something like that. So I've been about a bit, mainly in the lower divisions, the occasional Premier League game, but obviously I still come back to Oakwell because that's what I like to do. I still go to all the home games, and your dream team's got to be Barnsley related for me. So
your Barnsley Ultimate 11, who would be the captain? And can you name some of the players that you would stick in there?
Keeper, I'd probably put Dave Watson.
Yeah.
Full-backs, probably Nicky Eden and Darren Barnard.
We have to say Nicky Eden, don't we, Phil? We like him.
We do, yeah.
He come and helped us, didn't
he? Centre-backs. I think you've got to put Mick McCarthy in there.
Yeah.
I think I put Eric Winstanley as well.
Thank you very much, Phil, for not putting Ariane Dezu in, because Carlo's not mentioned that he's Dutch. He didn't mention it last episode. He's not mentioned it this episode. So fingers crossed, Carlo's not going to mention that he's Dutch.
Does Ariane Dezu make it onto the bench? Just because I'm Dutch, I want to know that.
I think it has.
Your midfield will be really hard because some of the legends of the game for Barnsley, you're talking about your Howards, your Hignets, your Redferns, your Horahans, maybe now Mower. They're all that central midfield role. Who would you have in that central midfield?
I'd certainly have Redfern in there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd have Craig Hignett in there somewhere. And you've got to have Ronnie Glavin in there somewhere.
I was just about to say where's Glavin.
He'd score all the goals.
Yeah. Favourite manager then over the span of years that you've been at Oakwell? Because we've had some good ones, we've had some forgettable ones. But
when we say favourite, Phil, not necessarily most successful, but the one that you found easy to communicate with and quite down to earth.
To be honest, more recently, Daniel Stendhal was one of the easiest to communicate with, and very down to earth. Couldn't be more down to earth if you tried. Some of them were a bit awkward in the past. Steve Parkin, I wasn't a fan of.
What was the Norwegian fella called with the wellies on?
Oh, Gudjon Thordarson.
That's him, yeah.
He always put the coffee on. When he went for the press conference, he always put the coffee on. He was good in that respect.
Did he? Yeah. He did something right then.
Oh, he did.
Carlo, do you want to bring our other guest on? Shall we give him a bell?
Yeah.
Let me see if we can get him on. So, Phil, we're hoping to get Hugo Colace on. That's the plan.
Right.
I'm not sure how much English he speaks.
I better put him in the all-time 11 quickly.
Yeah.
Right, Chris, I'm going to dial him now. I'll let you say hello because you've been communicating with him, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been speaking Argentinian to him,
Yeah, you can announce him that, obviously Argentinian live from Bangor in Wales. Right, I'm ringing now.
Fingers crossed.
I'm just going to be very unprofessional. Savannah, can you get me a drink, please? Sorry. It's going to be It's fame.
Actually, Chris, if you speak Argentinian to him, he won't understand. Try Spanish.
Oh, is it Spanish? Carlo, is that drink on your rider? Should that have been put in your room before you start the podcast?
Yeah, I always like, goose-feathered quilts. I have to have my raspberry Coke, zero Coke, of course. I have to watch the waistline. He don't look like he's answering.
I'll give him a message. I think he said he's ready.
Thank you. Look at that. Staff here, fantastic.
Power of technology, eh?
It worked fine for you, Phil,
That's a miracle.
Well, people like to knock old people and technology, don't they? But you and Carlo seem to have mastered it today, so...
Thank you very much.
Let me...
Carlo's no selling it. He's not even...
I'm just concentrating on trying to get this player here.
He's ready. He says he's ready.
Right, let's have a look. Add. We're calling Hugo Roberto Colace. Aye, arriba. That's all I can do.
He's ready. So whatever you're doing at your end.
Telling him, I'm ringing him. I'm Skyping him, should we say. He's here.
Hugo.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Hugo. How are you?
I'm fine. You?
Yeah, good. Just a quick introduction. The man with the glasses, Carlo van der Watering.
How we doing,
The man with the silver hair, the silver fox, Phil Hall.
That's me.
You're looking well. Where are you today, Hugo? Are you in Bangor or are you back?
He must be away. Oh, it must be. Ah, there he is.
Here we go. Hugo, where are you joining us from today?
Sorry, my signal is not very good at the moment.
That's okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, that's fine. We can hear you. Where are you joining us from today, Hugo?
Are you in Wales or are you back home? Signal must be really bad.
He must have got all the internet. Can you hear us?
Wave to him, Chris. Wave to him. Oh, bless.
He's a good-looking chap, isn't he? He can't hear what we're saying. He's good to admire. Hugo, can you hear us?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Good. How are you today?
I'm very good. Here with this weather. Very good.
Have you been keeping busy? What have you been doing to keep busy?
No. I stay at home. We training at home. Así que then are okay.
And home is in Wales at the moment, isn't it?
It's in Wales, in Bangor. Yes. In Fellinelli.
Pronounce it better than me.
Are you enjoying your time? Are you enjoying your time at Bangor? Are you really enjoying it? I mean, obviously there's no football at the minute. You must be sad about that.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at the moment. All the world is like this. Then we have to stay at home and training everyone at home.
Hugo. Oh, sorry, Chris. Obviously, you are back in the UK. You're in Wales. You might not be at Oakwell, but do you have good memories of your time at Oakwell? And maybe a specific match that was maybe one of your, that stands out for you?
Yes. My best memory was in Barnsley. I make a big mistake to leave Barnsley, but that's in the past. I think against Sheffield United 1-0 when I get scored, that is a brilliant moment.
Phil, you remember that one quite fondly.
I do.
Yeah, because it's a derby game.
Yeah, big game. Was it a good goal, Hugo? I can't quite remember it myself.
Which one?
The Sheffield United goal.
Yes. It was brilliant because we won 1-0. Then was a derby game.
Obviously, you've come to Bangor now, where you're obviously still playing. You're coaching as well, I believe. Has football changed at all from when you were playing at Oakwell to now? Has anything changed in the game?
I was 10 years outside the UK. Then I played different football, Mexico, France, Argentina, Paraguay, Gibraltar. Then I think the football is like England, like League 2, League 1. Then I feel like a home.
So you're still in love with Barnsley then, Hugo, very much so.
Yes. I really miss Barnsley. Yes.
Phil, have you got a question for Hugo?
Yes.
I just think, surely, Hugo, you'd love to come back. Probably won't happen now, but you really had a good time at Barnsley. Would you have ever wanted to come back?
Yes, I was here in 2015 for a trial that Patrick Crane called. But in that time, I think the manager Lee Johnson, he say Hugo is for the team. I was.
We just got to a really juicy bit then, and then the internet seemed to have let us down. Are you there, Hugo?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
But you were saying you came back to Oakwell. You had communication with Patrick Ryan, but Lee Johnson was the man from Del Monte. He said no. Did he say why?
I remember that he say I am too old for the team in that moment.
What does Lee Johnson know?
Phil, there's no such thing as being too old, is there?
No comment.
So, how are we finding your time at Bangor? Are you enjoying it, Hugo? Is it fun?
Yeah. I feel very good. I am training with the kids. I am the captain in the team. I feel very good here because the team, the club is a new president, and I think we are going to the Premier League next season.
Brilliant. What is it about Bangor that you really like? Do you like the town? Is it pretty? Do you like the food?
Yeah, the town is I think it's the same that Barnsley in UK. You know, if you go to London, it's different. But all the UK is the same place. I feel good here.
When you think back of your time at Barnsley, are there any players, any friends that you've kept in contact with after you left?
Yes. I speak all the time with Bobby, Martin. Sometimes I speak with Foster. But I speak Don Rowan, that he work in the club.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? Because on social media, you've always talked really positive about your time at Barnsley. Are you hoping to have the same sort of impression, the same sort of spell at Bangor to try and be really positive for them?
Yes. But the time is different because now I have a 36-year-old. Maybe I don't know how many years I can play, but in the future I said to the last newspaper in South America, say that I can become manager here, but I wish to become manager in Barnsley as well in the future.
That's good. It's good to have aspirations. You mentioned Barnsley numerous times. I'm just wondering, the top 3 players that you've played with, if you were to pick 3 players that you've played with for Barnsley in that red shirt, who would your top 3 be and why?
Yes, Bobby was a big player. Anderson Silva as well.
Yeah.
And Marty Devani, I didn't play many games with him, but he was, I think he was a legend.
And both Bobby is now, obviously, he's the academy director, I believe, at Barnsley. Martin Devaney is one of the youth coaches. And is that the path that you're hoping to sort of follow as well?
Yes, and now I am the coordinator here. I am saying Bobby has it in Barnsley. I am here in Bangor. I don't know what's happening in the future.
Do you speak to Bobby quite a lot on the phone to try and pick his brains and try and get some knowledge from him about what they're doing at Barnsley and maybe try and replicate that at Bangor?
Yes. He reply every time to me. Then I said I wish to play in the preseason Bangor against Barnsley. Will be fantastic for me and for the people.
I'm coming. Can we?
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Me, Phil, and Carlo.
then people will see Hugo if he is too old or not.
You're never too old.
Never too old. Hugo, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure. We hope you come back on the show very soon. Would that be okay?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Please stay in touch with us. We'd like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
All the best. Thank you very much, Hugo.
Thanks.
To all the supporters. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
See you later, buddy.
Wow.
There we go. Hugo Colace with his poor internet, but quite good English considering it's not his first language.
Well, better than yours, Chris.
Thanks, Phil.
It was Hugo, wasn't it, that was always putting on social media that he wanted to come back to the club. And it was Patrick Ryan that then offered him the trial. I mean, I remember it well because it's almost 4 or 5 years ago. And I think he's one of those players that is probably best remembered. He's played at a lot of clubs, but he's probably played his best football for us. And then after that, different countries. And if you think of some of the names that he mentioned there, I mean, Stephen Foster, I think will always be a legend for various reasons and a really, really nice guy. Anderson da Silva, I mean, what's happened with them? You found Colace. Your mission, should you wish to accept it, is to track down Anderson da Silva.
Yeah, no problem. I'm on it. I'll get him on. I'm just very interested. I wonder if once the world resumes normality, if when we get our charity football game up and running again next summer, Phil. I know you came, Phil. I know Carlo didn't. He were prior engaged, but maybe we could get Hugo Colace putting on that red shirt again for the Reds report, Phil. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll have a ringer, shall we?
Right, I think we're pretty much done, Carl. I think we're out of stuff to talk about. I think we'll finish with Phil and his room 102, Phil. So, is there anything that you can tell us about football that you want to disappear now? One thing. Me and Carlo are going to make that happen. So far, we've had VAR, referees, and wind. So what would you like putting in room 102? And me and Carlo will decide.
Can I just say, the wind...
I'll still go with VAR. I know somebody's already had it, but it's the biggest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Yeah. Absolute nightmare.
And I think the idea of it is good, but it needs to be a decision made. Somebody needs to sit at that monitor in that stadium, replay it, and it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But there is a connection to Stockley Park where somebody sits and has a word and, he's just gone to toilet, so we need to wait 10 minutes. It's not made a difference, as in nothing is fluid no more, is it? They say VAR, and then you go for a coffee and a pie, and then you go to the toilet, you have a cig in West End, and you're still waiting on the decision.
That's the point, though. It's, you get video decisions in rugby and cricket. They're stop-start games by nature. Football isn't. It's a game that flows, or should do. And that's why, ever since people started talking about, video assistance and what have you, I've always been firmly against it. The only thing I agree with is the goal line technology, because that's straightforward and simple. Yeah. It's a quick buzz in the referee's ear, split second, he knows whether that ball's got over the line.
Yeah.
Anything else, down to the referee for me.
We'll be fine next season when
150 odd years.
We'll be fine next season when Howard Webb returns from the MLS. He's mastered the VAR system over there, so I have no doubt he'll be back. Carlo, I think we're pretty much done. Phil, have you got any kind words for our audience via podcast or YouTube?
Just hope everybody's keeping well in these very surreal circumstances we find ourselves in. It's a strange situation. It's not a good situation when you look at the news and what have you and see what's happening and what's not happening. And football, I'm missing it, but it pales into insignificance with everything else, doesn't it? Let's face it.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think, as everybody said, echo Phil's words, stay safe. Listen to the advice that's been given to you. My son could not have said it better. He's on 4 weeks leave from work. And he said, 6 months ago, when I didn't have a job, you called me a lazy so-and-so. Now you're asking me to lay on the sofa and save the world, so I will.
That's a great way of putting it. Phil, you're going to be back on the show very soon because you've agreed to sign up for our FA Cup quiz competition, so we look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be out in the first round, no doubt.
I think your daughter's also entered, so fingers crossed you don't beat you in the first round, because we want to embarrass you on air, would we, Phil?
No, you wouldn't. You would, I know.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for watching, for listening. He's been Phil Hall. He's been Carlo van der Watering. I've been Chris Ridgard. This has been the Reds Report. Thank you very much. You Reds.